Artificial intelligence has taken over literally every space over the last couple of years, including the automobile industry. While some cars and engines are getting replaced by these technological improvements, there are a few that just won't be replaced. What are some examples of these engines? Stay with us in this video as we take you through the 10 engines that were built before AI and will outlast it too. Number 1, Mercedes-Benz OM617. Let's kick things off with a diesel legend that's so tough it could probably survive a direct asteroid hit and keep chugging. The OM617 is Mercedes-Benz mechanical love letter to durability, built at a time when engineers still had slide rules and trust in metallurgy. It's a 3.0-liter inline-5 diesel engine that powered icons like the W123 and early G-Wagons. Cars are so tough they become rolling relics of German resilience. What made the OM617 so unkillable wasn't fancy tech or flashy performance. It was simplicity and over-engineering in perfect harmony. No turbo in early versions, no electronic wizardry, just old-school cast iron, bulletproof internals, and a design that dared you to neglect it. Regular oil changes and basic maintenance will help, but even with the bare minimum of care, these engines routinely hit 500,000 to 1 million kilometers without major complaints. They weren't fast, and 0 to 100 took what seemed like an age. That 5-cylinder rhythm had its own charm, and it would happily drag you across continents. Whether you're escaping a zombie apocalypse, building an overland rig, or just trying to flex your mechanical hipster cred, the OM617 is your guy. It's the diesel engine that refuses to die and looks good doing it. If you're enjoying this channel focused on the European car market, don't forget to subscribe for more updates, insights, and exciting content coming your way. Number 2, Volvo Redblock B230. Now we slide over to Sweden, the land of meatballs, IKEA, and ridiculously tough engines. The B230 is a legend from the land of snow and salted roads. Planted inside brick-shaped Volvos like the 240, 740, and 940, the Redblock earned its name from its iconic red-painted cast-iron engine block. The engine wasn't just built to last, it was built to outlast time. We're talking about an engine that can run on 3 cylinders with a head gasket crying for mercy and still get you home. Neglect it? Sure. Overheat it? Why not? Drive it through a frozen fjord while hauling a trailer full of elk meat? Absolutely. The B230 just keeps ticking, like a grumpy old Swede who refuses to retire or change out of his wool sweater. It's not flashy, and it doesn't pretend to be fast, but it's honest, strong, and brutally simple, just the way engines used to be. In a world of plastic intakes and turbo failures, the B230 is a quiet reminder that sometimes old school wins every single time. Number 3, Pujo XUD9. The French may be known for wine and fancy dresses and avoiding conflict, but when it came to the XUD9 diesel, they tuned in the more dogged depths of their industries. This 1.9-liter indirect injection diesel engine was the very definition of it ain't broke, don't fix it. You'll find it humming away reliably in the Peugeot 405, Citroën BX, ZX, and even the ancient but somehow charming Peugeot 309. But it didn't stop there. The Brits also took a liking to it, and you'll find it under the hood of the Rover 200 and 400 series. What made the XUD9 so beloved wasn't flashy horsepower or wild acceleration. It was its reputation as an unstoppable workhorse. It didn't matter if you skipped an oil change or forgot what coolant even is. It ran on the bare minimum, smiled through rough diesel, and could take you on intercontinental road trips with nothing more than a toolkit and a hopeful attitude. Mechanics adored it for its simplicity, and owners loved it for its fuel-sipping habits. You didn't need a laptop to diagnose it or a PhD in sensors to fix it. Just a spanner, a little love, and voila, it kept going. Number 4, BMW M20. Before BMW became obsessed with touchscreen drama, keyless entry tantrums, and sensors on every surface, they were crafting engines that were all about the drive. And sitting proudly in that golden era is the BMW M20. This 2.5-liter inline-6, often found in the iconic E30 325i and the early E34 5 series, was the textbook definition of smooth, reliable performance. It wasn't trying to wow you with turbo whistles or futuristic tech. It just wanted to pull cleanly through the revs, purr like a mechanical symphony, and keep your heart smiling on every drive. The M20 had an iron block tough enough to survive thermonuclear war and a simple overhead cam design that made maintenance straightforward and satisfying. Keep the timing belt in check and feed it fresh oil, and this engine would serve you like a loyal Bavarian butler. That's why decades later, it's still a favorite for grassroots motorsport builds, drift projects, and weekend restorations. It doesn't ask for much, but it gives back everything. In a world now plagued with plastic engine covers and electronic gremlins, the M20 reminds us of a simpler time, when engines had soul and cars were built to last, not just leased and forgotten. Number 5, Audi 5-cylinder. Audi's 2.2-liter 5-cylinder turbocharged engine arrived with fireworks. More than just an engine, it's a war cry from the motorsport gods. Planted in that legendary Audi Quattro, this 5-banger did more than power cars. It rewrote rally history. It brought all-wheel drive into the mainstream and dominated the savage Group B rally era, where danger was a requirement and reliability was a luxury. And this engine still thrived in that chaos. What made it so special? That iconic uneven firing order gave it a soundtrack unlike anything else. Part chainsaw, part symphony. It has a little turbo lag, sure, but once it spooled, it hit like a sucker punch to the gut. Built like a tank with forged components and rally-spec cooling, it could handle abuse that would send modern engines crying home to their service centers. Even today, petrol heads chase these motors like buried treasure. Tuners adore them, classic Audi fans worship them, and when one flies past in full boost, it reminds you that not all heroes wear carbon fiber. This is raw, old-school, turbocharged power with attitude, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Number 6, Volkswagen 1.9 TDI. You knew this one was coming. The 1.9 TDI is a cult classic, mechanical warhorse, and for some drivers, practically a family member. Specifically, the ALH version is the crown jewel. Built between 1998 and 2003, this engine showed the world that efficiency didn't have to come at the cost of durability. Features a rotary injection pump instead of a complex piezo injectors, no diesel particulate filter to worry about, and a turbo that, if treated right, could survive multiple presidential terms. Owners of ALH-powered Volkswagens often report clocking well over 500,000 kilometers with just routine maintenance. And the best part? It sips diesel with consideration for your pocket. You can average 50-plus miles per gallon on the highway without even trying. These engines became favorites among long-distance commuters, budget travelers, and even apocalypse preppers. Toss in the fact that it can tolerate biodiesel, waste oil blends, or just about anything remotely flammable, and it's easy to see why this engine refuses to die. No flashy tech, no complicated electronics, just good old German engineering that somehow got everything right. If the robots took over tomorrow, the 1.9 TDI will still be out there, clattering away through a dust storm, delivering mail or outrunning extinction. Number 7, Porsche M64. Now it's time to bow to the Porsche gods, because few engines have achieved the legendary status of the M64. This was the final chapter of Porsche's air-cooled dynasty, found in the 964 and 993 911s, a motor that delivered raw mechanical purity in a world before ECUs tried to outsmart drivers. Built with precision German craftsmanship, the M64 was carved from magnesium and aluminum like it belonged in a museum, but performed like it was destined for Le Mans. It gave you that iconic, snarling exhaust note that's instantly recognizable to any car enthusiast within a 5-mile radius. And durability? This engine laughs at your modern turbos and plastic covers. With proper oil changes and a little mechanical sympathy, it'll crank well past 300,000 kilometers without batting a valve. Porsche didn't design the M64 for planned obsolescence. They built it like it was supposed to survive an apocalypse. That's why the 993 still fetches absurd prices today. This is the engine that cemented Porsche's legacy and proved that true performance didn't need a computer to think for it. Just pistons, passion, and a scream that echoes through eternity. Number 8, Lancia Lamprey Twin Cam. Next, let's talk about the unsung hero of European performance engines, the Lamprey Twin Cam. While Aurelio Lamprey might have cut his teeth designing V12s for Ferrari, his humble twin cam inline 4 for Fiat and Lancia is where the real magic happened. First appearing in the late 60s and soldiering on well into the 90s, this engine wasn't just versatile, it was indestructible. From the Fiat 124 Spider to the absolutely bonkers Lancia Delta Integrale, this motor proved it could do it all. Whether you were chasing lap times or just late to dinner, the Lamprey engine delivered crisp throttle response, plenty of rev-happy joy, and that unmistakable old-school mechanical soul. But here's the real kicker. Unlike most high-performance engines, this one didn't need a pit crew or a PhD in engineering to maintain. Its overhead cam design was refreshingly simple, parts were widely available, and many backyard mechanics could rebuild one over a weekend with time left for pasta. In a motorsport, it was a game-changer. In rallying, especially with the turbocharged 16-valve versions and the Integrale, it helped Lancia dominate the world stage. This gritty champion proved that brilliance doesn't need to come in 12 cylinders. Number 9, Mercedes M113. Luxury? Absolutely. Power? No doubt. When it comes to reliability, The M113 V8 checks all the boxes and then rewrites the checklist for fun. This engine is the rock-solid heart that powered some of Mercedes-Benz most iconic sedans, coupes, and even SUVs in the late 90s and early 2000s. You'd find it purring under the hood of the E430, S500, ML500, CLK55 AMG, you name it. And it probably had the M113 doing all the heavy lifting. What makes this engine a living legend is how it combines old-school durability with that smooth V8 character Mercedes was famous for. No turbochargers to stress over, no fragile timing components, and definitely no computer-packed nightmares hiding under the intake manifold. This was back when engines were built to last, when a chunk of cast iron and some solid engineering could carry you 500,000 kilometers without breaking a sweat. You'll hear mechanics whisper tales of these engines going strong even after being neglected, abused, or driven like they were stolen. It's not just tough, it's gracefully tough. The M113 V8 was built before the AI age, and it was definitely built to survive through it. A true Mercedes masterpiece and arguably the last of its kind. Number 10, Opel CIH engines. Last but definitely not least, let's talk about a true working-class hero of the engine world, the Opel Cam N-Head CHI series. These motors weren't built to impress your date or win a drag race at the lights, but they were built to survive just about anything life or a terrible driver could throw at them. Found in classics like the Opel Record, the Manta, and early Omega models, these iron block warriors made their name not by screaming performance, but by sheer stubborn durability. You could change the oil once a year, ignore a few strange sounds, even run them a little hot on a summer road trip, and they just keep plodding along with the loyalty of a Labrador. The genius of the CIH design was its simplicity. With a head layout that gave easy access to valves and timing components, they were a backyard mechanic's dream. No fancy electronics, no temperamental sensors, just old-school metal spinning away like it was 1975. They might not have had the flash of the AMG or the finesse of a Porsche, but they outlived plenty of both. Even now, they're still popping up in resto mods and rally builds, proving that when it comes to engines, heart often beats horsepower. That's all for this video on the 10 engines that were built before AI and will very likely outlast it too. Which of them would you like to own? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying this channel focused on the European car market, don't forget to subscribe for more updates, insights, and exciting content coming your way.